It's like all fruit.
And we're back. I had about 3 weeks off of climbing, and I'm back now. I took some time off of like any sort of physical activity, all training, and all video making, and so I had a nice break from it, and I've got the itch to start making videos again and start training again as well. So yeah, we finished our last training cycle just before Vail. That is about a month earlier from now, and so I took 3 weeks off of climbing. Me and Maddie we went on vacation, which we've never really done before. Just like traveling for the sake of sightseeing and not going to various climbing gyms. So that was a lot of fun. If I was gonna take time off just for the sake of having a rest week, which I was going to initially, I probably would have only taken like 5-6 days off. But me and Maddie hadn't seen each other for like a month, and she had like 3 weeks of rest scheduled in her program, so it just worked out too nicely that I decided to extend what would have just been a normal rest week into actually, I think it was like 20 days off climbing for me. And so, actually, hold on, I gotta take a second here to talk about what's happening on the screen. This arm bar that, this is like my fourth session of climbing back since 3 weeks off, so I was still feeling a little shaky, and I wasn't strong enough to grab that finish hold, and I had to just jam my arm against it. I got a bit of a rash now from that. It's kind of funny. But yeah, this is my fourth session back climbing. I had like just 3 days of climbing moderate stuff just to get the body warm again before I started a program. You never want to jump into training too fast after you've taken, especially like anything more than 2 weeks. That's definitely got to ease into it. But yeah, after an impromptu rest month, we are back to our home in Germany. Me and Maddie now live near Frankfurt. We're like 15 minutes outside of Frankfurt in a town called Langen. And so our home gym is Studio Block, and there's 2 Studio Block locations near us. The Darmstadt location is like about a 30-minute trip from our house and our apartment. And then this is the Mannheim location, which is a little further. It's like it's like an hour and a half trip. So we don't go here that often. This is maybe our third or fourth time here. Both of these gyms are amazing. Like partly why we moved to Germany was to train at these gyms. Like you can see, look at this boulder. This is just like the normal stuff you see up in the gym all the time. They've got like a really great setting team, and they just are so good at putting up just like crazy jumps and coordination moves, stuff that you see in comps all the time these days, and things that are really hard to set. Like at both of these facilities, they just put a bunch of these up like it's nothing. Just all the time they throw these up, and they're always super cool. So I feel like me and Maddie are gonna naturally just get really good at this style just by climbing at this gym all the time, which is really which is good, because I find that I'm not too great at like the running and the jumping a lot of the times, and it's something I need to work on, and these facilities are great for it. There's also another gym called Boulder that's nearby that I'll probably train at tomorrow, and that's kind of those are our 3 gyms that we mainly train between, 2 Studio Block locations and Boulder. And so yeah, I'm starting a new program. This is kind of basically my off season now. I was debating going to the last North American Cup of the season in Montreal, but the only reason I would go to it would be to try and get our like points for the Canadian team rankings so I could be selected for events. But I think this event probably won't be worth that many points, and because I missed out on a couple events last year, I'm like kind of a lot further down in the rankings than I thought. I don't think this event is going to be worth enough points to have me make any significant progress. And I'm living in Germany, and we just got done a bunch of traveling, and so I think I might just skip it and kind of start from scratch. I've been thinking long and hard about this, and I think like in the past couple of years, I've just hit a plateau with my competing, and to take it to the next level, I think I really need to just have some kind of reset and like work my way back from the bottom. Like my standing in the Canadian team right now is pretty irrelevant, honestly. I skipped some events that I probably shouldn't have, that I didn't think I needed, and then I ended up getting farther down in the rankings than I thought, and now it's kind of hard for me to get back. And so I need to just kind of start from scratch, and I'm gonna have like a nice, good amount of months of training, just training. I might throw in like one comp. We, like at the beginning of the last series, we did that tour de block at Boulder House where me and Maddie won free tickets to Montreal for the Jackalope event. And so like the flight's already booked, and we have these plane tickets ready to go to Montreal. And like we'll definitely go. Like at least we'll visit family and that we wouldn't have seen in a long time. And I think Maddie has like a wedding to go to or something. And I don't know if I really necessarily want to do the comp anymore at this point. I'd rather just like train, put a bunch of months in of training for next season. But I might just throw it in like, it's not too serious an event. It's kind of just more for fun. So that's probably like the next event that we have, like on the horizon. But other than that, I think it's just going to be a nice extended period of like several months of training, and then I got probably Canadian Nationals would be like sometime in the fall, and then like of this year, and then next year is when like the comps will start up again for me. And by that time, like it'll be the Canadian high performance comp, whenever that'll be. And by that time, me and Maddie will probably be living in Canada again, which will be nice because it's, not super ideal to go and do all the Canadian events while we're like spending this year in Europe. So that's also like partly why I don't want to go to this North American Cup. It's just kind of counterintuitive. So I'll probably start doing like the Canadian comps again, working my way up, trying to climb the rankings, like for next season. And so yeah, for now I'll just like focus on training for these next few months, and then see if I can do like maybe all of the North American Cups next year, depending on how many there are. But yeah, it's been a while as well since I've had just like a nice stretch of like 5-6 months of just training without any interruptions. So I'm pretty excited for that. And we have like this sweet setup here in Germany with like these amazing gyms, and it's just like we're doing this full time now, so it's like I can just put all my focus into this. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. So this is like our first day of the program, the new program. I'm taking this first week just to kind of ease into it. Like I've had 3 sessions of just like moderate climbing to get the body going again. I definitely felt stiff, pretty weak from my time off. And so this next 6 days of training is going to be like just bouldering. I'm not even going to be doing double sessions every day because I'm just really trying to ease into it. Today I felt definitely quite weak in the fingers, especially like my body was like okay, but the fingers definitely need some catching up. So this next week we're going to try and ease back into the training. So that was our first session done, an hour of bouldering.
Hey.
And so in between sessions, me and Maddie just kind of hung out at the gym. We went for lunch. We found this really nice Thai food place actually nearby that was like amazing. It was the best Thai food I've ever had in my life. That'll be our lunch stop every time we go to Mannheim. But yeah, we just hung around the area because we were like an hour and a half from our home, so we couldn't go home between sessions. And the other nice thing about the Studio Block gyms is they have they've got like a full-on restaurant in their gym. They've got all these couches, like the hangout spot is like super nice. You can just do your session one and then sit around in the gym. It feels like you're at home and just hang out. So it's really nice at these gyms. So yeah, we start the second session, another hour of bouldering. Back on this 7 that I was trying earlier in the day. And the grading system here is 1 to 7. So 7 is the hardest. So the first session I was feeling quite shaky, not super strong. And the second session was a bit better. I felt like my fingers could handle more. And you could see like on my first few attempts when I was trying this in session 1, I had to like put a knee and I could barely match the sloper. And then by the second session, after trying a few times, I could finally finish it. It was a cool, like that hold to match before the dyno was super bad. And it took me a while to find a good body position to match that hold and then do that dyno, which was pretty sketchy up at the top of the wall there. So next we have another 7 here. This one I managed to do on my first go. It was pretty cool. And yeah, this session was especially nice because, well, I mean, obviously we've been away from Germany for a while, so both of the studio block locations are like full of new boulders for me. But like this one as well, we don't go to Mannheim very often, so every time we go, there's usually a lot of new boulders, and it's crazy, man. Both of the studio block locations are massive. They've got so much bouldering real estate. It's crazy. And then there's 2 of these gyms, like and they set like pretty often too. I think between the 2 locations, you're gonna get 4 new sets a week. It's super nice. And like it's such a nice change of pace too, because like for the past like few years when I'm training in Canada, I either have to set myself boulders or spend a lot of time making boulders up on the wall, which is obviously not as effective because it kind of eliminates the root reading process. And so just being here in Germany is like that's the biggest difference. Is like there's just so many boulders that are set, like hard boulders that are set that are like, you know, comp style, and you just can go and climb, and that's what you want to do when you're training as well, is just to go to the gym and climb and not have to think about, oh, do I have anything to try the session? Do I have to make up boulders or set something for myself in the morning? It's so great. Like that's the best part about Germany. And so here's a 6 that I was trying. So I was trying it in the morning session as well. My skin is kind of like nice and like baby soft right now. So those flat holds were like, it felt so impossible to stick to. I couldn't hold those holds, and that was probably like, I probably climbed harder things in this session, but that 6 was just like the absolute last thing I could do on this day of just like baby skin and not being super solid on grabbing like slopers like that. So I got my butt kicked on that one, which was funny. And then next we have, you know, just a classic, like you can look everywhere in the gym and you'll see, like in either studio block location, you'll always see some cool coordination boulder in your vicinity. It's so nice. I really, that's like probably in the next few months of training, that's something I want to focus on. I think that's another weakness that I need to work on, is just my running and jumping skills. I find like I can do like kind of like power-based distance dynos, like no problem, but like the coordination stuff, I need to practice, and I've been getting already, like we've been here for 4 days and I've been getting a lot of that practice in. So yeah, I had a few tries on this run jump, 6, pretty cool, double clutch. And then this next one here is a 5, and it was like deceptively hard. So this is like not my first try. Actually, I tried to warm up on this boulder and I fell like 3 or 4 times, and so I'm like, okay, this one is clearly hard, so I'll come back to it. But yeah, I fell a few times on that jump in the middle. Yeah, it's interesting. I find at the other location, Darmstadt, which we climb at mostly, the great like usually all the 6s will be harder than the 5s and the 7s will be harder than the 6s. It's interesting at this location in Mannheim, they kind of blend together a bit more. Like some of the 6s will be pretty stiff, and like you'll have a couple random 5s that are hard, which I always love. I always love when that happens, because like you just get more hard boulders, and it's always a good mental battle as well, like a nice little mental challenge. It's like, oh hey, all of a sudden you're getting your butt kicked by 5, like does that stress you out? And that's like a nice, it provides like a nice opportunity for you to practice just like some head game stuff, because like this sort of situation can happen when you're competing as well. It's like a boulder that you see like a lot of people are topping, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, I should be able to do this, and then you start struggling on it. It's a good skill to be able to just not be phased by like thinking something is well within your ability and then you're not able to do it, or something looks easy and you struggle with it. That's something I like to practice a lot, and I think I've been getting better at it as well. And so up the block, the gym we climbed at like a month ago or something before we left for our events. I found when I first started climbing there and when they first started open, that happened a lot at that gym, where almost like all three of their highest grade ranges kind of blended together, and that's where I kind of practiced that head game a lot. So that concludes our first day of training on this new program. That was a fun little day of training at Mannheim. Tomorrow I think we'll climb up Boulder, and then pretty soon we'll be back at our home gym at Studio Block Darmstadt, which I can't wait to feature. Vorsicht. It's so pretty, Maddie.
Where are you at?
I'm at like nothing.